Hello friends, how are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. Our lesson today is a very important lesson which is about the position. And before we start the lesson, don't forget to subscribe our channel, click on the ring button, like this video and share the video with your friends. And let's start our lesson. First, if I have this element is here, I have a parent and I have two children inside the parent. And this is how it looks. So let's go to the CSS. So we did these changes in the CSS to look like this. So let's start with the first one, which is the position. Let's use the static. Position static is a default position of the elements. When you write an element without any changes on it, without determining a position, so its position is a static value. So the static is a default value of all the elements when you don't determine the position. And now you notice when I use the position static, and even if I use the right, left, bottom and the top with it, it will not make any changes on it, for example. So let's do it practically. For example, let's use the top. Let's use top 20 pixels. I see it will not change anything. And this is the position static, which is the default value of the position. So let's delete this one. So for your information, we make changes on the first child, which is this one. This is the class of the first child. To make you sure, the first child, and this is the second child class. And I call both of them with the parent. And let's make changes on the first child with using another value of the position, which is the position relative. Position relative is almost like the position static. So you notice right now when I use the position relative, it will not make any changes on it. But the difference of the relative from the static, I can use the right, bottom, left and top with the relative value, but I can use this top, right, bottom, left with the static value. And let's use this one with the position relative. And let's use top. Let's use top, for example, 20 pixels. How you see it moves the red one, the first child, by 20 pixels from the top, and this one covers the yellow one by 20 pixels. And when I use the 80 pixels, it will cover all of the element. And let's use the 10 pixels. How you see this is the result of the relative. It's same of the static, but you can top, right, bottom, left with it. And let's use the right. Let's use the right 10 pixels. And you notice right now the element moves from the right by 10 pixels, and also it overflows the parent element by 10 pixels. I see it overflows this one by 10 pixels. And this is how the position relative works. But now the first one overcomes the second one because the first one is relative and I did not make any changes on the second one. But when I use the second one, position relative, let's use the position relative on this one, position relative, the second one will overcome on the first one. And this means the last one you make changes on it or make the same position, the same change on it, the last one will overcome the first one. So how you see the second one shows over the first one, and when I delete this one, the first one will overcome on it. And this is how the position relative works. And let's delete this one. So we have another value of the position, which is absolute value. Absolute value, position absolute. Let's delete this one. So you notice right now when I use the position absolute, it directly ignores the second one, the yellow one. And the other thing, it deletes the whole space here that does not contain the text. How you see, it just remains the first child with the background and deletes all the background of the red which does not contain the text. And also we can use top, bottom, right, left with the absolute value. And let's use it. First one, let's use the top, enter, for the pixels. How you noticed right now, it moves the first child that I make changes on it from the top by the for the pixels. And also you notice that it deletes the whole background of the first child which does not contain the text. And let's use this one on the second one also. Let's choose the position. Let's choose the absolute. How you see, it deletes the background of the second one also, which does not contain the text. And now I will use the bottom. Let's use the bottom, 0 pixels. It will directly get outside of the background which is parent. So how is this possible? So I wrote inside the parent and it gets outside of it. And how to fix this problem? To fix this problem, we need to use the absolute value and the relative value together. So with using the absolute and relative value together, so we will be able to fix this problem. And let's use it practically. So the first one, which is the parent, so now I write both of the first child and second child inside the parent. How you notice right now, this is the class parent and this is the first child and second child I wrote inside the parentheses. And let's give it the background. It's background color red, and the second one is yellow. So now I'll use the both background values, relative and the absolute together. I will give to the parent the position. I'll give it the relative. So I give to the parent the position relative. And this one, I will make changes on the first child, so I will not use the second child. So which one you use is not a problem, so I will make changes on the first child. So I will make the position of the first one absolute. First child, I will make it absolute. So now I use the position relative for the parents and I use the position absolute for the first child. And let's change this one, bottom, to the 0 pixels. How you see, I make it the 0 pixel, but it will not get out from the parentheses. So how you notice, I make the bottom 0 pixel without getting out from the parent element. And this is the benefit of using the relative value with the absolute value. This you will need it when you have a child inside the parent. So even if I write the right 0 pixel, so it will not get out of here. So how you notice that the first of the lesson, I use the relative and it get out from the parenthesis and it overflows the parenthesis. And now, because I use the relative absolute together, it will not get out from the parent element. And now you learned what relative means and what the absolute means. So let's delete this one first. So we have another value which is called the fixed. Let's use the position. position and choose the fixed. So with using the fixed value, we need to scroll the body. So I will change the height of the body, height to 500 pixels. So I changed the height of the body to be able to scroll here, because you will learn the fixed value with the using scrolling. So when I make scroll here, this element, the first element that I make changes on it, that I chose the position fixed on it. So let's scroll it. It will stay at its place without moving with the scrolling. So the other elements will disappear with the scrolling, but the first child will stay here. So anywhere I determine, for example, let's choose the top 20 pixels. So it will stay at the 20 pixels. So how you notice? So it will stay at the 20 pixels of the body. So let's use the 40 pixel. It will stay here. How you notice? It will not move from this place that I determined. And this is how fixed value works in the position. And we have another value of the position, which is called the sticky. With using the sticky value, we need a lot of the text here. So let's use the div here to write a lot of the text here, and let's copy this one and then paste it. And then after this one, let's use another div and write inside it a lot of the text. Let's copy this one and then paste it a lot of times. How you notice, I have a lot of text in the website here, and it overflowed the background, so it's not a problem. And after that, we have to change the background of the parent, because all of these elements I wrote inside the parent, so I need to increase the height of the parent element to 5000, for example, to contain all of the elements inside. And I choose the 0 pixel. It will start from the 0 pixel, and keep your eyes on the first child when it reach here. So let's scroll this one. First child, has the first child stay sticky here when it reaches to the 0 pixels. So it's not like fixed. When I use the fixed, so it will stay fixed at the same place that I determined. So here I use sticky. It will be sticky here or any place you want, and it will not disappear with the another elements. How you notice? It will stay at the very top of the website. And let's use the greater number. For example, let's choose 20 pixels, and let's go to the scrolling. How you notice it will be sticky at the 20 pixels of the screen. How you notice it will not start from the very top of the website. I use the 50 pixels to start from. Let's go to the very top and make scrolling. How you notice it will start from the 50 pixels of the screen. And this is what position is, and this is how the position important in the designing of the website. And here we finished our lesson. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope every information is clear. And don't forget to subscribe our channel, click on the ring button, like this video, and share the video with your friends. And thank you so much for listening. See you in the next lesson.